Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. So, I've just managed to tier 3 my Jean Grey. She's new, but she's pretty much quite a well-fitted character. So I've got our skills up, her gear's done, her ISO done. Her custom gear is of course a CTP, so it's gonna give 6 bars by default. I've got good Urus. I don't really have any of these Odin's blessings things, but I'll probably pick one up pretty soon. And then I've got my own cards, but I guess as long as you have 5 cards that are all of mythic rank, you should be able to get 6 bars here. And then of course I've managed to mythic her uniform. So as far as the character herself goes, as you can see, I managed to get a single Odin's blessing here, but that's as far as everything as I've got right now. Everything else is just standard Urus. So as far as the stats go, I can just show you my basic stats. You guys could pause it if you want to look into the details. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you that I'm currently in the top 4,000, and this is very far off in terms of overall numbers, because of course there are people out there with much better cards than mine. Also, they probably have way better ISO roles, I guess, because different ISOs have different roles. As you can see, it's 275, 242, 181. Even a maxed one is like this is 278, this is 280. So there are some stat differences, like very minute stat differences that could possibly put me up another 1,000. So that's to be considered. Also, for the CTP, you have to consider that you'll have a percentage on certain CTPs. Like as for destruction, if you've got 30%, 200, that's the max for these two stats. But as for the damage over here, it could be up to, I think it's 40 something, 45, maybe more. So yeah, mine is half of that, which is not a very good number. So I'm probably losing out another at least 300-400 ranks on that. Uniform, of course, there is also a few other things to be considered. I do not have two uniform options, and then I don't have this one as well. Yeah, I don't have these. So I'm also missing a few additional stats on those, so that's also to be considered. As for the Urus, of course, these are always the same. It doesn't matter which 6-star energy attack you have, they're always giving you the same stat, which is pretty nice. It should be the same for ISO. Hopefully they change that someday. So the only difference would be this thing, because Odin's Blessing is always going to give you more stats than the basic Urus. So as for those of them who have built their genes with Odin's Blessings, as you can see from the first rank, it's going to be purely an Odin's Blessing character, which really puts them ahead of everyone else. And even the CTP rolls, as you can see, 44%. Some of them have even higher, so yeah, you gotta consider things like that. As you can see here, 281, 281, 282, these are pretty much the highest stats you could roll on the ISO. So I guess this one's pretty high, 280. This one's not that high. 280 is pretty high. But yeah, as for these, since you know these are different, it's 281. This one's pretty good. These two not so. So there are some tweaks and bits that could be changed for the character. And let me just go ahead and check if, yeah, of course you will get something increased. So yeah, you will of course get the character rewards for being able to 3D gene. So you'll be able to get the tier 3 Phoenix Force, which will give you not a useful reward at all. They should be giving CCF because that's the most important resource, and I'm pretty much dry on CCF right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what she does in timeline. So let's go ahead to timeline. Let's just look for rank 1, and let's just see what he has. So this is the rank 1 for the week. I'm just gonna try to use my new Jean and see what she could do. And is he using Nick Fury as the lead? I think he could be using Nick Fury as the lead, which means he probably won't have a debuff leadership. Instead, he will have increased attack. I think. I could be wrong. I'm not familiar with Nick Fury, but yeah. Oops. Let me turn on the autoplay. Let my Jean do her thing. Maybe probably have to move from that. Yeah. Okay. Fifth skill is an odd insta kill. Basically, we gotta wait for the dome to drop to be safe, because the dome is gonna do a lot of damage. Stop the fifth, fourth. Yeah. So I guess he didn't need the debuff leadership because he has Wasp on the team, so he went with the all attack boost. But all of his weight was relying on his Jean Grey. But despite that, I guess my Jean apparently beats the weekly #1 rank Jean, I think. Because you know my Jean is pretty new, which is the reason why I haven't got so many points, because I have not used her for the entire week. But maybe I will come back with another weekly update next week and see how well I do with the Jean. So that'll probably be pretty interesting to see. I can't look for this guy, unfortunately, because his name is written in, I don't know, Korean or something. So let's look for someone like, okay, Taeyong 29. Yeah, okay, let's look for this guy. Taeyong 29. There we go. Alright, so this way we can look at his Jean and see that she is... Wait, what's her rank? How do I know your Jean's rank? But either way, he has a CTP of regen, which should possibly make a very big difference in the way his Jean works, because she can prevent me from piercing. So let's just try to go against it. Let's see how well we fare. We have an invisible woman to go through, so that'll be pretty tricky. But regardless, let's just try to go through her and get to Jean, and then see how well we can hold off against CTP of regen. But he's definitely higher rank than mine. I'm pretty sure of that. You can also see that his stats are higher. His HP is higher, actually. I don't know all about the rest of his stats, but it's pretty high. I'm just gonna swap out to prevent my Jean from insta-dying. We'll see what Spider-Man can do. Yeah, okay, so she doesn't have a debuff leadership, which is unfortunate, which means my Spider-Man can easily kill her. I'm gonna switch to... Oops. Okay, you know what? Did she die? She dies from that, okay. I think it won't be a problem for my Genie if my Spider-Man can kill him. But you know what? Let me just see what Spidey's doing here. That's insane. I think Wolverine's gonna come out of that and fifth skill. Okay, I take it back. Apparently my Spider-Man is a bit too strong. Okay, anyway, apologies. I'm supposed to be testing out my Gene. So let's just go back to that and try it again, and this time we will probably use Spidey to take out Invisible Woman. That way Jean can fight Jean fair and square. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's get to Spidey. Please, hopefully don't die instantly, Spidey. Alright, so Spidey's got her. Now I could probably, yeah, she's gonna die. That's great. Alright, let's just do the fifth right away to get the 80% penetration going. Yeah, I can kill the Genie easily. Oh, my AI took over and did the fifth. But anyway, it's pretty straightforward. I guess my Gene can kill the Gene with CTP of regen. It's not that difficult, I guess. Yeah, she's pretty strong. So I've noticed this a few times, despite being, in the ranks of like 4,000, my Jean is still doing pretty strong. Regardless, I believe that she could be much better if I were to change her Urus, possibly find better ISO, re-roll my CTP. But for now, I think I'm pretty satisfied with what I have. I'm not going to be touching too much on her. Instead, I'm going to be working on my new tier 3 Spider-Man, who I wanted to show you guys in another video, but I guess I'll just show you guys a little bit. So as you can see, I don't have him fully set with Urus. I do not want to equip Urus that are not 6-star ranked, uh, because I might want to just drop it into another character, and now you gotta spend crystals to unequip them, so I don't want to be doing that. As you can see, I'm running out of crystals as well. So yeah, I put a lot of ignore defense on him because he doesn't seem to be able to get to the cap despite my cards giving me a 30% ignore defense. But he's pretty good on crit damage, which is great to know. He's definitely over on dodge, which is okay. His crit rate is pretty good as well, so I think he's doing fine. I probably have to just get the rest of the Urus up. His ISOs are not complete as well, so I could possibly work on changing this. He doesn't need Hawk's Eye because he has a lot of dodge already. I could get Power of Angry Hulk, and I feel that I need the CTP of Destruction simply because he doesn't have any penetration on any other skill besides his ultimate, so there is that. So yep, I guess that's it for him. Last one I wanted to work on was Thanos, but I'm very far off, so I won't be coming back with a video anytime soon on Thanos. Neither will I be on Thor because I'm pretty much done with all of my CCFs for now, so I'll be needing to farm for a very long time before I come back. So that's the gist of it. I'm pretty happy with my new tier 3 Jean, and just slowly I could possibly touch her up, maybe to get her into the top 3000s, but as of now, as long as these bars are full, I'm pretty satisfied. So yeah, that's it from me, just an update for you guys, and I hope that you guys keep trying, don't give up. It's just a matter of time sometimes, and the game will frustrate you, and I don't know if they have an algorithm that will make things more difficult the closer you get to getting CCF, because I've noticed that especially when I was very close to completing Jean or Spidey, World Boss Ultimate just did not drop any CCF, so it was really frustrating. I was trying to clear the top floors that I could, just like floor 19, yeah, I don't have 20s unlocked, so 19 was the highest. I do have 20 on 1 or 2, but mostly 19s, so I was clearing as many 19s as I could, but CCF just would not drop, and when it did drop, it was like 20 a day. So I would be getting like 20 every 1 or 2 days, which means I'll get like an average of 10 a day, which is 300 a month, and 300 a month is not enough. It's not even enough to rank up a cheap character like Captain America, so it takes at least 2 to 3 months to do that. Right now tier 3s are extremely premium, so don't get frustrated if you're stuck. Just understand that that's just the way the game is designed. They just don't want you to be getting those tier 3s, and if you get them, they are really precious. Cherish them. If you want my advice on tier 3 Spider-Man early on, I would say he's not the best tier 3. He is a good character, he has value, but he has very niche value in Alliance Tournament and Alliance Conquest, and besides these two game modes he does not really shine. Despite what you saw in Timeline just now, he was only doing a lot of work because the opponents did not have debuff removal, but if they have a Jean or Doctor Doom on lead, or anyone like that for that matter, they would have a skill that gives them debuff removal, and this skill is automatically going to just negate his webbing, making him 50% less effective. And despite having a lot of damage, when he's iframing, he's really vulnerable to characters like Captain Marvel, and also he has gaps in his iframes, during which he could get a one-shotted by just a flicker of fire from Jean Grey. So it does not really matter, even if he's iframing most of the time. When there's a split second, he's just gonna die. And you know he doesn't have much pierce or penetration, so you will be needing to put CDP of destruction on him, which keeps him very vulnerable on the defensive end of things. He relies mostly on his dodge, which is his like main stat for survivability, but characters with enough ignore dodge, especially Captain Marvels, with a good amount of ignore dodge, and this is 3%, but if you get like maybe CTP of what's that, uh, patience or something. Sorry, give me a sec, let me just look for it. No, I have it somewhere here. It's not patience, it's the one Nova has, transcendence. Yeah, if you get a transcendence on Captain Marvel, she's gonna ignore dodge and she's just gonna fourth skill Spidey every single time. Jeans may find it a little bit difficult because they don't really have ignore dodge, and they don't really come with it. So Spidey does survive a little bit against Jean Greys, but once the skill hits, you're gonna die because you just don't have enough HP to tank it, and you don't have the defenses either. So overall, as a tier 3, he has less value because he's only useful in two niche game modes, Lion's Conquest and what's this? Lions Tournament. But of course, if you can use him in Battle World, he will have some value. But you know, that comes once in a while, and I mean, it's not really the main thing of the game. So Jean's tier 3 is probably the best as of now, I would say. Not because the tier 3 does so much to her, but because she's already great, and tier 3ing her just makes her the best. But in terms of just the raw tier 3 value, I believe Captain Marvel's tier 3 gives her quite a bit because it allows her to um, penetrate and ignore dodge at the same time. So when her binary break is activated, she could just follow up with a photon combo after that and kill literally anything in the game. So that's pretty scary. Another good tier 3, of course, possibly will be Deadpool or Captain America. They have great stat bumps for them. So I guess they will be better options. But I decided to go for Spidey because I like him and I just want to try to keep him in the team even though he's not the best out there. That's just my own way of doing things because I have pretty much the best character in the game right here. So I didn't want to overpower my team. It's not about being the best for me. I will never be the best because as you can see, it's going to take a lot of investment to push this, even by 1,000. So I do not intend to spend thousands on this game just to be able to see that number get smaller. So yep, that's it from me. That's my update. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys are doing with your tier 3s. Let me know if you got so frustrated that you just had to spend to get it over with, or you really planned it. As for me, I farmed my Jean completely free to play, and I spent to get my Spidey up to tier 3. So that was pretty much my decision. I really wanted my Jean to be my raw hard work, and I did it. So I'm pretty glad about that. And then finally, when I rolled, I think I just wanted to go for a single chest, and I rolled an Odin's Blessing on the very first and second chest, I believe, because I put one on Spidey, I think. Yeah, I put one on him. So I rolled it like 3 chests, I think, and I got like 2 Odin's Blessings, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna roll anymore, and I stopped right there. But I know that some of you have been rolling for days, and it could seem like a pretty scary thing. My suggestion is just stop. Just stop. It's pointless trying to get all the way up there because it's truly not gonna help you, and the drop rates are just so small. So yeah, that's just my advice. But you don't have to take it literally. It's up to you how you want to go about things. It's your game. So yep, that's it. That's it for today. Adios, guys.